After months of waiting, the flagship to BLU's Life series is finally in the office. I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com. It's the BLU Life One. Let's unbox it. After months of waiting, the BLU Life One, the flagship in a lot of ways to BLU's Life series, is finally in the PhoneDog offices. Now this thing is available for $298 unlocked without a contract, which is awesome. Through Negri Electronics, you can go to pdog.ws/life1 to get quick and easy access to that link. That'll refer you right over to Negri Electronics where you can buy the device. But for under $300, you get a device with a quad-core processor with 16 gigabytes of internal storage and more, and it's got a beautiful metal frame as well. Let's unbox it and take a look. But before I do that, special thanks to our partners at Best Buy Mobile. They give us phones for free that we literally pick up at the store and give to you on the site at PhoneDog.com, also for free. When you go into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working. So whether it's your messaging, whether it's your phone contacts, whether it's perhaps the notification bar settings, you'll walk out working with everything working as you want it to, thanks to Best Buy Mobile. So we'll unbox this, but first, handy dandy unboxing knife, we'll talk about the specifications here. Just a quick rundown: 1.2 gigahertz quad-core Cortex A-7 CPU. You've got a 5-inch display on this device, 720 by 1280 pixels, 294 ppi. This thing also has a 13 megapixel camera, 1080p HD video recording. It's 8.9 millimeters thin. It's got a full aluminum housing here, 1 gigabyte of RAM, and more. Really a nice device all around when you consider the price point of the unit. 2,000 milliamp hour battery in this device as well. We'll take a look. I don't know, shouldn't be waving this knife around. I don't want to poke anybody's eye out while you're watching this on YouTube. We'll go ahead and unbox this quickly. And you can see the box looks very similar to the one we saw for the final retail device on the BLU Life Play. So very similar in terms of kind of a carton style box here, if you will. Very similar to what we saw with the leaks with the iPhone 5C as well. So kind of a carton style with a little piece of plastic up top. And I should point out the display, speaking of that, has Gorilla Glass as well. So we'll pull the device out. Really a nice looking unit here. 13 megapixels, glossy on the back. This is the white version. 13 megapixels, 1080p HD recording, 5-inch display. A nice sweet spot for a lot of people. And yes, in videos, or at least in the comments, you all are like, sweet spot, you said it was 4 inches 2 years ago. You're right, I did say it was 4 inches 2 years ago, and that was 2 years ago. So things change when you go, especially in cell phone land, when you go from 2 years to the present. So 5 inches is a great sweet spot for a lot of people. 2,000 milliamp hour removable battery, and a lot of goodies here in the box. As you can see, you get a case, you get a BLU AC adapter module right there. You get a USB cable, which is one of these little nifty USB cables that's thin, very similar to those water hoses you see on the ads seen on TV things, obviously on television. You got BLU Life One here, instruction manuals, Manual de Usuario L120, and some earbuds as well. So quite a bit out of the box. Again, keeping in mind, I know I keep saying this, but $300 unlocked gets you all this stuff. So earbuds as well. You get a case with it, saving probably 20 or 30 bucks there in the store, which is nice also. So there's 2 SIM card slots. I should point out these SIM card slots are regular SIM card slots, which I don't know why they aren't switching to micro SIM card or nano SIM card slots, perhaps to save costs, but you can see your dual SIM card slots, but you're gonna have to go back and get the old SIM card, or relatively old SIM card if you're using this on AT&T or T-Mobile in the States. Now build here, beautiful metal sides, and we'll power it up and take a look at that as it's starting up. So we got the battery in, you can see volume rocker over on the left side, power button on the right spine, micro USB charging port at the bottom, and then 3.5 millimeter headphone jack up top. Really a beautiful phone here, 5-inch display. You got capacitive buttons down here at the bottom. We'll power it up so you can see how it looks, and we'll let you go through the boot up animation here so you don't complain to me in the comments that I didn't let you go through the boot up animation, and then you get angry. And I don't want you to get angry, I want you to like this video. Thumbs it up, not thumbs it down. So BLU starting up right now, and there we go. And you can see that it's starting up right now. Now, turn to the side here and you can see the metal, really a beautiful device here. It kind of resembles the Galaxy S4 and now the Galaxy Note 3 as well, with kind of that raised, if you will, sides, as opposed to kind of curved sides that we saw on like the Galaxy S3 or perhaps what we see now on the HTC One kind of curve. It's kind of a straight up side here where you can grip onto the side of the device and really hold it in day-to-day conversation or day-to-day use. So that's kind of nice. I like that. And we'll jump right in and take a look at the phone. Actually, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go ahead and back out here. And you've got some capacitive buttons down here. The downside is these capacitive buttons are insanely hard to see on the white device. So I can't actually see these. You see me do it on camera now. I can't actually see the lights below the capacitive buttons, which could be a challenge for some people. But again, 5-inch 720p HD display here, running what looks to be Android 4.2.2. We'll double check just to make sure. About phone, 4.2.1 over on this device. And then I've got my menu as well. So out of the box, you get typical apps, typical widgets here, relatively stock, clean version of Android 4.2, with the exception of some minor customizations that BLU tends to make on their devices. The camera looks different here, as you can see. Got a different area, HDR availability rather. You got panorama mode, scene modes, all kinds of different changes you can make. And then when you snap a picture, you can easily move from the picture to the active gallery here. So 13 megapixel camera. Will it hold up to the 13 megapixel shooter on the S4, the Note 3, etc.? We'll find out in the future in the full video review. But let's take a look here just quickly at my AT&T G2. We'll see if we can focus in on the AT&T logo and see how this camera performs. So not a bad camera at all. And keeping in mind the price point of this phone, 300 bucks. I know I keep bringing that up, but 300 bucks for this, 1 gig of RAM, 16 gigabytes of internal storage, 5-inch 720p HD display, or you can get a device on a carrier for 400 to 600 bucks with similar specs. So you've got a choice to make, and it may be challenging, but depends on what you want out of your device. So overall, even with 1 gigabyte of RAM, I'm not, at least right yet, seeing any slowdown here. And out of the box, you get typical stuff, Google integration, Google Plus, as you'd expect. You get a notebook, a sound recorder, and then of course wireless update as well. So we'll jump right here into notebook. We'll hit new, and let's say, you know what, hey there, how are you doing? Thanks. And that's terrible writing, but we'll go in here and do something else. Let's say, and you can see the emoji type thing there as well. This is a BLU customization. Hey there, how are you doing today? The Fox, the FPC, the Fox loves you. The Fox loves you. Again, portrait to landscape transition, just to give you an idea of how quickly those operate with 1 gigabyte of RAM pre-installed. And this device seems to be relatively quick. The biggest challenge I'm seeing just in the unboxing here is the fact that I literally cannot see the capacitive buttons. Otherwise, very easy to use. Let's see what we can do in system settings. Let's see if we can change anything about that. Display. Got theme options here, lock screen notifications as well. I can change the theme to raspberry, for example. And the screen almost has kind of a bluish hue to it. So I'm not sure if it's just me looking at it or if perhaps it is something with the display itself, but that's something I'll point out in the full review once I get a little bit more time with this device. So we'll back up here. We'll go to Smart Gesture, and you got some of the smart gestures that you had in the BLU Life Play as well, though this time around, proximity is spelled correctly. It's no longer Pro-Mixy, it's proximity over on this device. So glad they caught that for the BLU Life One. But all in all, really a nice device here. This brings BLU up into a new playing field with a nice device at the $300 price point. And again, it's 300 bucks. You really can't beat that for an Android device with 4.2. Nice notification panel, dual SIM card capabilities, 2,000 milliamp hour battery, 16 gigabytes of internal storage, and more. So we're all around pretty pleased with this device, but we'll put it to the test in the full review. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for more. I'm on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron and would love to hear from you as to whether you'll buy this device or whether you're looking at other devices on the market. You can't beat it for the price point, for what you get. Take a look at it and let me know on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron or Facebook, Facebook.com/HiAaronBaker. 10 gigabytes of available storage on this device out of the box. Thanks for watching. More to come. You know what? I'm going to put it in a case. We're going to live life. We're going to be cray-cray this Thursday and put this phone in a case. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the full review. And as always, I'll see you next time.